Hello, my name is Matthew Williams. I would like to speak with all of you as a Bible believer, a husband, a father, and as a concerned American. I would like to discuss one key issue in our society today, which is the topic of abortion, and what we as Christians should think when electing public officials. Christian writer Ryan Ham stated, "The Christian command to integrity is a command to both talk and walk in the way of Jesus. It's a life marked by love, compassion, mercy, justice, and honoring God's call above all else." He goes on to explain that walking in integrity is walking in the path of Christ and to avoid hypocrisy. The emphasis here is about walking in the calling and will of God. When we use our votes to align with people who clearly walk outside of the Bible or biblical concepts, it is possible that we ourselves could also walk outside of the will of God, especially when we support these leaders. In this speech, I'm going to address two examples of how Christians are being forced to contemplate in upcoming elections in the wake of the debates surrounding the Supreme Court decision concerning Roe versus Wade and public policy regarding abortion rights. But first, let me tell you some numbers concerning the state of abortion in our country. A Pew Research Center analysis on abortion showed that 35% of all Republicans and 80% of Democrats support abortion in all or most cases. Also, 33% of evangelical Protestants said abortion should be legal, and 60% of mainline Protestants also agreed with this policy. It's easy to see how varied people are politically and religiously, and how split they are on this topic. Let's look at some scriptural ideas which pertain to this topic, as well as recent statistics pertaining to abortion. According to the CDC, in 2019, there were a total of 629,898 abortions reported in the United States. With the fact that the number of abortions committed in the United States every year, the question becomes for believers, can I support a politician who supports abortion if I believe life is sacred and the killing of the innocent is a sin, even if these leaders say that they are Christian? To understand why this is important, we must examine the scriptural reasons why this policy is indeed antithetical to the Christian faith. We read in Genesis 1, humankind is a unique creation. Humans are created in the very image of God, and we are special and different than the rest of God's creations. Destroying innocent human life, such as that of an unborn child, is a grievous violation of the commandment to not commit murder given to the Israelites in Exodus 20:13 and Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 7, which was also reaffirmed by Jesus in Matthew chapter 19, verse 18. The killing of the innocent is discussed at length in many places throughout Scripture, and in 2 Kings chapter 17, verses 17 and 18, it shows us that even Israel was destroyed for the killing of their sons and daughters. More directly related to this topic, the prophet Amos condemned the Ammonites because they ripped open the expectant mothers in Gilead, Amos 1:13. Life itself is the divine will of the Lord, and he has full dominion over life and death. To interrupt this process is sinful, as we are commanded to be fruitful and multiply in Genesis 1:28. Apart from these biblical reasons for not supporting abortion, there are also indicators which show the abortion industry in the United States preys on minorities and the poverty-stricken people for profit. This is especially true in the targeting of African American women who receive abortion services at 5 times the rate of white women. According to the Guttmacher Institute, an organization which generally advocates for abortion rights, they show African American women receive 37% of all abortions in America, despite only making up 14% of childbearing mothers in the country. According to Arizona State Representative Walt Blackman, in 2011, 360,000 babies were aborted. CDC statistics for 2011 show that 287,072 Black deaths occurred from all other causes excluding abortion. By these numbers, abortion is the leading cause of death among Black people. Planned Parenthood also has a history of targeting racial minorities themselves. According to USA Today, in her biography, Margaret Sanger, the founder of Planned Parenthood, when speaking at a Ku Klux Klan event, advocated for a policy of eugenics and selective breeding for the, quote, gradual suppression, elimination, and eventual extinction of defective stocks, those human weeds which threaten the blooming of the finest flowers of American civilization, end quote. She would later write in an article titled A Better Race Through Birth Control, she stated, given birth control, the unfit will voluntarily eliminate their kind. Miss Sanger would build the very first Planned Parenthood outside of a largely minority neighborhood in the poverty-stricken area of Brooklyn, New York in 1916. Representative Walt Blackman stated, a study by Protecting Black Lives in 2012 found that 79% of Planned Parenthood surgical abortion facilities are located within walking distance of minority communities, continuing the abortion industry's long tradition of targeting minority populations. As we can see in these two examples, there is a great deal for believers to contemplate regarding policy and electing politicians who support abortion. There is first the need to seek what it is God has said and continues to say in our time about the killing of innocent people, but also there is a strong argument that abortion in America was founded and continues to be racially motivated. If we are to walk in integrity, following in the footsteps of our Messiah, we need to seek him and study his word to find his will in this urgent situation. It is important that we cast our ballots, we do our research, and we ask the hard questions rather than voting along party lines. These policies are literally life and death. I hope you will join me prayerfully in considering supporting people who will stand and fight the battle for the voiceless and the most vulnerable people in our society. Thank you.
Okay.
Good enough.
Well, you might want to, I think it was fine, but I don't know if you want to listen to it first or
Okay, hold on.
make sure everything came through clear.
It's still recording.